Recovery through faith is actually the topic of a new book and movie that just came out. The author and producer, one of the Wahlberg brothers, but not the actors Mark or Donnie. Instead, their brother Jim tells his own personal and sometimes brutal story of addiction in the book The Big Hustle and the film What About the Kids? They both shed light on how, with God, all healing is possible. Jim Wahlberg joins us now to tell his story and how he's inspiring others around the world. And Jim, you've had quite a journey from becoming addicted and living on the streets as a child to doing time in prison. Tell us about the moment that inspired you to get sober and how faith played a role in it.
You know, it was actually kind of a process of, I started doing things to create an illusion that I was trying to get better to the administration and the prison that I was in. And so I started going to different 12-step meetings and therapy and what have you. And soon after, the Catholic priest, Father Jim Freitas in the prison, came to me and offered me a job as a custodian in the chapel. And I instantly thought all of the things I was going to get away with, right? Like, I'm going to get access to his phone. He smoked cigarettes. I can't find a priest that smokes cigarettes anymore, thank God. But, you know, I just thought about all the ways I would get over on him and how he was basically an easy mark. And maybe 2 weeks into the job, he got me back to Mass. And then in another 2 weeks, he tells me we have a very special visitor coming, that Mother Teresa is coming to the prison that I am in. And not only is she coming, but I'm going to be part of this Mass, part of this procession and the whole thing. And I was very excited, but, you know, within a second, I was like, who's Mother Teresa? Because I had no idea who she was. Even growing up Catholic, you know, more by tradition than by faith, I think.
Right.
You know, it was a life-changing, life-altering day when Mother Teresa walked into that prison. I really felt like I was looking in the face of God.
Wow.
Yeah.
So tell us, why did you write this book and make the film? Who are they for?
Well, in reading the book, you can see that, you know, it's a generational thing. I was raised by an alcoholic. I became an addict and an alcoholic. And then I had a child who had problems with addiction as well. And so it's really for families. It's for, you know, I spend a lot of time addressing the stigma that's attached to addiction. And, you know, this is a real illness. This is a real disease. And for me, it's rooted in brokenness. It's rooted in trauma. And I wanted to sort of chip away at that stigma for folks, right? You know, I have this last name, right, that because of things that really don't have a lot to do with me, it's a very well-known last name. It's not Smith, you know? And so I felt like there would be maybe a slight bit more attention put to it, right? And I want to use that name for good. And I think a lot of people in my family have done similar, you know, that we want to, you know, I want my children to be proud of me, but I want people to know that if it can happen to me, it can happen to anybody.
All right. So what's your advice for someone who's either struggling with addiction or while in recovery?
So, I mean, I encourage people, if you know someone who's struggling with addiction or has struggled in the past with addiction, and you love them, call them, connect with them, do this, do Skype, do Zoom, do whatever you got to do. But we have to lift each other up. We have to take care of each other, and we really need to be praying for each other. And I also want to encourage people that are new in recovery. Call other people, be of service. Nothing gets me out of my way more than trying to be of service to others.
Right. It's all about that human connection. Jim
Amen.
Wahlberg, author and producer, thanks for sharing your story with us.
Thank you. And thank you for bringing this topic into the light of day. People need to talk about these things.
If you're watching Currents News on YouTube, be sure to hit the subscribe button and then click on the bell to get instant updates about all of our newest content, because we are putting your faith in the news.